Imagine waking up one morning to a world without the internet, no emails, no social media, no streaming services. The digital silence would be deafening. Gone are the familiar pings of new messages. The constant buzz of notifications that we've grown so accustomed to is no more. The comforting glow of social media feeds has vanished. The endless scroll through updates and posts is now a thing of the past. The endless stream of information and entertainment has simply ceased. No more binge-watching your favorite shows or catching up on the latest news. This is the reality we would face if the internet were to disappear overnight, a world suddenly disconnected, thrust back into an era of limited communication. Our immediate reaction might be disbelief, followed by a surge of panic. How would we cope without our digital lifeline? The internet has become so deeply ingrained in our lives that its sudden absence would be akin to losing a vital utility like electricity or water. It's more than just a tool, it's a necessity. Our dependence on the internet has grown steadily, almost without our noticing. It's woven into the fabric of our daily routines. We rely on it for everything from communication and information to banking, shopping and entertainment. It's hard to imagine life without it. The initial chaos would be palpable. People would be bewildered, unsure of what to do next as they realize their usual means of communication are gone. Communication systems would grind to a halt. The silence of once buzzing devices would be deafening, leaving people isolated and disconnected. Businesses would struggle to operate. Meetings would be cancelled and transactions delayed, causing a ripple effect of inefficiency and frustration. Financial transactions would be thrown into disarray. The reliance on digital banking would become a glaring vulnerability, forcing a return to cash-based systems. Global markets could even experience a crash unlike any other. The sudden lack of information flow would lead to panic and uncertainty among investors. The internet is the invisible backbone of the global economy, and its disappearance would send shockwaves throughout every sector. From retail to logistics, every industry would feel the impact. The impact on education would be equally dramatic. Schools and universities would close their doors, leaving students and educators in a lurch. Students accustomed to accessing vast libraries of information online would find themselves limited to textbooks and physical resources. Research would slow down significantly. Teachers would need to adapt their teaching methods, and online learning platforms would become obsolete overnight. Traditional teaching methods would make a comeback. The disappearance of the internet would force a radical shift in how we educate future generations. Families might take on more active roles in education, and community-based learning would see a resurgence. The lack of internet access would also affect our personal relationships. Social media platforms, instant messaging applications, and video calls have become primary modes of communication for many. Without these digital tools, we would be forced to rediscover the art of letter writing, phone calls, and face-to-face conversations. Imagine a world where news spreads through word of mouth, newspapers and radio broadcasts. A world where entertainment means attending live concerts, reading books, or engaging in hobbies long forgotten. Without the constant distractions of the digital realm, we might find ourselves with more time for personal reflection, creative pursuits, and meaningful interactions with those around us. Rediscovering the analog. In the absence of the internet, we would witness a resurgence of older technologies. People would turn to vintage typewriters for writing, old cameras for capturing moments, and vinyl records for listening to music. These once-forgotten devices would find new life and appreciation. Landline phones would ring once more, becoming the primary means of distant communication. The familiar sound of a ringing phone would fill homes, bringing a sense of nostalgia. Libraries would become bustling hubs of activity. People would flock to these quiet sanctuaries to read, research, and connect with others in person, rediscovering the joy of physical books. Postal services would experience a renaissance as people rediscover the joy of sending and receiving handwritten letters. The anticipation of waiting for a letter would add a new layer of excitement to daily life. This forced digital detox would be a stark reminder of the analog world we left behind. Families would spend more time outdoors, playing board games and enjoying picnics in the park, reconnecting with nature and each other. This transition would not be without its challenges. People would struggle with tasks that were once second nature, like reading maps or setting up tents, highlighting our reliance on digital conveniences. The initial period of adjustment would be marked by frustration, confusion, and a sense of isolation for some. Navigating without GPS and finding information without a quick internet search would be daunting. We would be forced to confront our dependence on the internet and the ways in which it has shaped our lives, both for better and for worse. This reflection could lead to a deeper understanding of our relationship with technology and a newfound appreciation for the simpler things in life. Reconnecting with ourselves. The disappearance of the internet would be a monumental event, forcing us to re-evaluate our relationship with technology, our communities, and ourselves. While the initial chaos would be undeniable, it would also present an opportunity to rediscover the value of face-to-face interaction, analog experiences, and the simple pleasures of a life less tethered to the digital world. It would be a stark reminder that true connection and fulfillment are found not in the virtual realm, but in the richness of human interaction and the tangible world around us. Well, that's all for today. Please subscribe to our channel. Few Facts.